What's going on, guys? Ben here, Enos Tech, and today we're taking a look at the Corsair K70 RGB mechanical keyboard with cherry red switches. Now, as you can see, the keyboard itself features an all black layout, and each key has an individual backlighting, which is of course RGB enabled, so you can set every key to just about a different color. Which is great. As this is the K70 version, it does not have the extended macro keys, but there are other versions. You can obviously get the 10 keyless and the one with the macro keys, so make sure to look out for those if that's your thing. Aside from that, the keyboards are very similar. We of course have a light on and off button, so we can easily turn the backlighting on or off no matter what setting it's on. And there's a Windows lock key, which is a great feature if you ask me. We have the volume mute key and a volume up and down rocker roller switch here, which I kind of like. It's nice and easy. If you're in a game, you just flick it up instead of trying to hit function in F6 or whatever. You can just flick it up a little bit. And then of course we have our media keys over here. Now, another thing I liked is this keyboard does come with a wrist rest, and the wrist rest is nice and easy. You just pretty much put it on. There it is. You know, it's not hard. It comes right off. You put it back on, like we can see there. It's quite nice. I like using the wrist rest with the keyboard myself, and it comes in handy. One last thing before we get into our proper closer look at the keyboard itself. The USB cable is actually two USB cables in one. For the most part, it's just a nice chunky thick USB cable, but down at the connecting, it does come out into two, so you will require two USB headers to make use of this keyboard. Not an issue per se, just something to make you aware of if you are looking for this, because I know some people, especially with ITX systems, may not have a lot of USB ports available for such a keyboard. But instead of me rambling on here, keep going on and on about how much I like this keyboard and all that, let's take a closer look. Alright, having a bit closer look, and now we can get a bit better look and feel for the brushed aluminum look of the keyboard. It's nice, it's black, it kind of looks quite stealthy if you ask me. Again, this is the K70 full-size version, so while there are no extra macro keys, it does have the full keypad on the right hand side with some media buttons above it, as we can see. Again, a couple of the handy features going there up across the top are of course the volume rocker switch and the Windows lock key, which will lock the Windows key, so if you're in game and you hit that button by accident, it won't pop up your start menu and minimize your game, causing you the match. And then of course we have the LED off button that no matter what setting or profile or whatever you've set up, if you've left that key alone, you can hit it and it will turn all the LEDs off at once, or it will turn them all back on. So during the day you can have them off, during the night you can put them back on with ease without having to go in the software and control it. Up on the top of the keyboard, kind of the back, which will most likely be facing the monitor in most situations, is a BIOS switch that says 1, 2, 4, 8 are the options above it, and it will let you go ahead and customize your keyboard and set individual profiles and stuff to it, as it does have some included onboard memory. On the bottom side of the keyboard, there are 4 anti-slip rubber paddings, one in each corner, and you will also find 4 feet on this keyboard to help lift and raise it up, where a lot of keyboards only come with the 2 feet at the top. The Corsair K70 comes with 4. There are 2 extra ones at the bottom, and these will allow you to raise the keyboard up, and it also gives you quite a bit better angle with the wrist rest. So depending on how you prefer it, your ergonomics, Corsair have you covered. There are a few different options, so users can make the best use of the keyboard and the included wrist rest. Alright, so now we've come to the part of the keyboard that's probably one of the main reasons everybody is buying this, the RGB backlighting. Now, there are a number of profiles you can download in the software. The Q software from Corsair is great. There will be some pictures of the software in the review, and hopefully I will be doing a video of the software as well alongside the keyboard to show some of the different stuff. But for now, this is just a very basic look at the lighting system. As you will see now, the RGBs are going kind of crazy. This is the spiral rainbow mode, which is a preset setting in the software. You can go ahead and just select it and it'll do this. Now we have the rainbow wave, as you can see, which is quite nice as well. We have the visor, which some of you will know what that looks like. I'm not going to go into detail, but if you know, you know. If you do, you don't. Might be a bit young. We have a rain setting. And as you can see, the RGB works well. It's stated for 16.8 million colors or something like that, but you pretty much get the main colors, as you can see here. Quite nice effects, as you can see. That's the rain again. We also have a color shift, which is a bit more subtle setting. It changes the color, as you will hopefully soon see here. Yeah, there we go. That's a good change. There are a few more we can go through real quick. We have color pulse, which is a bit faster. Color wave, as you can see, which is quite nice. This is quite fun to play with. The software, you can spend hours in this, because not only do they have these preset options here that you can use and play with, you can also customize every individual key yourself and make your own profiles with your own effects. And there's a bunch of Corsair profiles to go ahead and you can download and do it. We have one of the fan favorites, the ripple. So depending on what key you hit, it sends out a different bunch of colors everywhere, as you can see here, which is always quite fun. You have the type lighting that lights up just the individual key that you've pressed for a few seconds there, as you can see. A lot of these are more for show, and I know some people are probably thinking, well, why wouldn't want to type with that? Well, they're not all designed to help you with typing. A lot of them just are for show. Another cool option that has just hit my keyboard since I just updated it today is the option for the Void Playback Music Visualizer and the Void microphone. Now, a lot of you will know that the Void is one of Corsair's newest headsets. They offer an RGB version, and you can set your keyboard up to have RGB lighting depending on the setting on your headset, whether it's hearing it or when you talk, your keyboard can light up. So that's a pretty cool feature. I personally don't have a Void headset to test it out and try it, but for those who do, make sure you check that out. And this is pretty much it for the lighting profile and the this little overview of the Corsair K70 keyboard. As you can see, there's tons of options going on. You're going to have to make sure you check out the review on enistech.com to see a little bit more. Of course, check out the Corsair forums and their websites for all the different profiles. I mean, you can create profiles and share them with your friends and all kinds of stuff. Upload them to the forums and share them with the world. It truly is an amazing keyboard. I've been using it for months now. It's a joy to type on. I love gaming on it, and having to play with it every now and again with a bit of lighting is fun and soothing. And depending on if you got some friends or family coming over for a little evening or whatnot, you can set it up, and it's a little talking piece. You can get some conversations going over it. As always, thank you guys for watching, and please stay tuned in the near future for more content.